Welcome. We're going to talk about a subject today that some people have never learned how to do, making a decision. Do you know Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich wrote an entire chapter on decision? Most people never make decisions. They have a difficult time with it. Why is that? I think they have a difficult time because their parents made decisions for them until they were too old, and they never learned how to make them. Do you know, the one thing that I did with my kids, I never made a decision for them. They didn't like it. They'd say, come on, don't do that to me. And I said, no, what do you think you should do? And I'd leave it at that. Decision making is a phenomenal concept. And you're going to find out, as he points out in here, that successful people make decisions very fast and they change them very slow, if and when they change them at all. And he said the people that have difficulty in life make their decisions very slow and then change them fast and often. And you know, decision making is a funny thing. You and I think on frequencies. If we could see a bunch of lines and we're thinking on a frequency, and we're on this frequency here and we're saying, I'm going to do that when this changes. This is never going to change until you get up on this frequency. See, the good that you're after is on a higher frequency than you're operating on, a greater awareness. And if you're down here and you're thinking here on this frequency, and the good you want up here, you got to get your mind up there. How do you get up there? Make the decision, be there. And that's really what you have to do. The second you make a decision, you flip your brain onto a different frequency and you start to attract things to you that you'd never get without making the decision. Do you know, we do a lot of work in decision making in our seminars. It is the most valuable part of the seminar. People want to overcome procrastination, make decisions. And if you really want to make it happen, get this book, Think and Grow Rich, and read the chapter on decision every day for 30 days. I guarantee you, you'll be a different person when you finish it. Now click on the link below and leave your information and get into this subject. Make decisions very fast.
Yeah. Hey, my name's Ali, and I never knew what I wanted to grow up.
Go ahead.
You think you're a baby? So, cheers! Welcome to She Evolve Collective, the best decision of your life. Okay, say hi!
Hello. I'm looking at that video and it's like, whoa, I don't know, it was cutting in and out for you. I think every day it's been cutting in and out. I don't know what's wrong with it. But
no, it wasn't on my end. It
wasn't?
okay.
Okay. Well, that's right. It's just maybe me. You maybe get the gist
I'm just
of
looking
it.
at those women and thinking, who are these people? Like,
I know.
whoa.
I know. Honestly, before I forget, how many of us are on live? I think there's about 30 of us watching that are on live. If you have not subscribed to the channel, or do you have to have subscribed to be watching? Possibly.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Just make sure you subscribe because it's awesome if you do. Like we would love that so much. But anyway, that was just in my mind. I'm thinking, and if you're not following us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram, which is the She Evolve Collective. So we'd love to say hello to you there too. Amazing, amazing. Again, I'm going to say this before I forget, Ali, and then we're going to get into some real juicy things, is that in that quick decision video that Bob was talking about, he said, when you make a decision, you flip your brain onto a different frequency.
Mm-hmm.
So you literally flip onto a different frequency. Now, we haven't really touched on frequencies too much, but I think it'd be good to touch on it just before we get into our story because we want to show you the transformation. We want to show you the before and the after. Who'd love to know more about the before and the after? Some of you know, some of you don't know. And some of you had heard Ali's story. She touched on it briefly. Mine's very similar. It's just, different, spiced up differently. That's all it is,
Same but
right?
different.
But we were pretty much, Yeah, same. We are. We're like same, but different, of course. But we'd love to show you. Who'd love to see what that difference is? Now I can't see the comments. How weird is
The
that? I
comments.
could see them before. Yeah, hang on. Let's see if I can see that now.
It looks like my
Back
son's
in
in there.
Billy.
Billy's
Well
in
done,
there.
Billy. We love that you're in there Billy's getting lots of crowns and points, because what's going to happen at the end of everything, we're going to collate, like, I think you get crowns for commenting and things like that. Whoever's got the most is going to get one of our prizes, which is
They absolutely are.
and we have a major one to give away too. So
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned for that. Absolutely. So if you're doing the homework, you've done everything, we will announce that either today or maybe even at the retreat, and we'll let you know live. We might announce it in front of everybody at our incredible identity and wealth retreat on the weekend. So we're looking forward to that. If you're not coming along, we have virtual tickets too, so you can jump in and buy a virtual ticket and come along and join us, which will be lots of fun.
Absolutely.
Okay,
We cannot wait.
so can we have that? I can't see that chart. Do you want to flip that up?
No,
in front
our
of you?
team will be able to pop that up for us right now.
Come on, team. Oh, here it is.
Just like that.
There it is. We've got an incredible team. Mel in the background and the girls. We don't know what we'd do without them. Like, seriously, so amazing. Who's seen this chart? Let me know if you've seen this before. I'm sure some of you have. Some of you may not have. Yes, we've got some yeses. Have we got yeses, or I'm just making that up? See, I'm manifesting before it even shows up, because I know someone's going to write yes that you've seen the chart before. Let's see.
Absolutely. Let's have a look.
Yes,
Absolutely.
see?
Yes, seen it.
Came into real life. Seen it. Love it. See, we're crazy manifestors as well, Ollie. We don't even know what's going on.
We absolutely are.
Espresso, are you in our Tax Espresso? Are you in our world? Are you in our?
I think
little...
she's backstage right now.
Oh, she's backstage. Excellent. We're going to have a special guest jump on. Our Tax Espresso, incredible. Oh my God, amazing Felicity. So she's going to jump on soon too. Can you force your frequency to another level? Yes, of course you can.
Yes.
But you don't force it. This is the thing. Force is a forceful word. We can absolutely shift the frequency. And this is exactly what happened to Ali and I. We want to share that with you. We want to show you what it took and what we did, and how we were able to literally transform our lives, like literally take it from, idling. And Ali showed you her budget of $4,000 a month. And that was a combined income at that point, right, Al? Combined income.
Combined with benefits as well.
With benefits combined. And that was how long ago?
That was in the beginning of 2022.
Yeah, it's not that long ago. So Margie, yeah, you've seen the chart. Great. Okay, so this chart, we're going to do a lot more work on this at the retreat on the weekend, because, for me, this was how I was able to like literally make a decision and say yes to myself, because I knew that where I was I'll use the word vibrating. We're all energy, right? Again, we're going to go into this in depth. I'm not going to do it now, but we are all, vibrating at a certain frequency, right? Everybody is vibrating. Now, some are more dense and vibrating in a lower frequency. Some are in a higher frequency. So the higher frequency, you'd be more expanded. If you can see on the right-hand side, you're more expanded. You're more, connected. You're sort of, things are happening for you. When everything works out for you, who's had that in their life? With just everything out, it's so good. There's not many things going wrong. It's just like everything's just going yes, and you're lucky, and you're winning things, and you're winning in life, and the right person's in your life, and just everything's amazing. Who's had that? Let's know. Let us know if you've had that in your life.
Let us know. You might just think it's a fluke. You might think it just is a fluke, or it's just something that happens by coincidence. All those types of verbiage that you might be using.
State of flow happens a lot. That's awesome, which means that you are in a fairly high frequency if you're in a state of flow. And a state of flow would be anywhere above, if you have a look at this, anywhere above, say 250 megahertz and above, right? So if you look at that, that's your megahertz, that's your measurement. So neutrality is at 250. So anywhere, even courage, even 200, most people in the world, like everyone, like if we collectively put us all together, we're probably in around between 100 and 125, right? That's where most people vibrate. So some are much, much lower, and you'd recognize those that are much lower because they would be the ones that just nothing goes right for them. Like nothing they do, nothing, like they're always, having a whinge. There's always, not even a whinge, it's deeper, it's darker than the whinge.
It's just lack, constant lack.
Nothing working out for me. Everyone's lucky. I'm so unlucky. I can't win anything, or not even win anything. I'm just like, nothing's happening for me. Life sucks. Like literally, if you're in 20, 30, 50, 75 to 100 megahertz, right? You are living in fear. You're living in apathy. You're living in guilt. There's lots of shame. There's lots of things going on. And it does not matter. This is what I want you to understand. It does not matter what has happened in your life. Because a lot of us go through trauma. Lots of us go through trauma. Now, what I want to share is that even if there's been trauma, even if there has been, you've had a crap life, there is something within us that is deeper, that lies deep within us, the Creator, this is our spirit, that is pure and that is able to shine. So everything around us, all the circumstances create the density that we are experiencing, or that you might be experiencing if you're in that frequency, right? So you have the ability, through obviously guidance, to move up the rungs of that frequency, up the ladder. Everybody has the ability. But firstly, you have to understand it and believe it. So we're going to go into this deeply on the weekend. But I just want you to know that. So if you feel like there's nowhere to go, I don't think anyone on this call would be quite there, because or you may be in a lower place than you want to be, like in a lower frequency that you want to be. But Ali and I moved from a frequency of maybe desire meaning that you want something so badly. Who's ever had that feeling before? Where you just want something so badly that you don't know how to get it, and you try everything possible in your life to make it happen. You work hard. You're like slogging away. You're exhausted. It's painful. You're not sleeping because you may be desperate for money. You may be desperate for a relationship. You may be desperate for success. You may be desperate for whatever it might be. But there's a heaviness around the way we walk, around the way we talk, around the way we do anything. Does anyone feel that? You don't have to share it. You may feel
everyone can relate, Danny. I think it's such a natural thing. It's so many people experience this, whether they want to or not. And I think the worst part is when you know that you know that you're made for so much more, literally. Just don't know how to get through it. Yeah.
Is that the name of our event, Made for More?
It sure is. That just came out.
Is. Yeah, it is. We are all made for more. Every single one of us. And honestly, we were able to transform from a place of that desire of wanting so much more but not knowing how, to creating that. And that's what we want to share with you. So we went from desire. Ali, would you have put yourself in that desire category? Maybe
I was in fear, probably even lower. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So positive on the outside, which we're going to go into, but deep inside there was fear, lots of it.
Yeah. I had to prove myself. That was me. I had to prove myself and continue to prove myself to justify that I was smart enough, that I was good enough, that I could create that success. Like for me, it was all about justification. And without that justification, I didn't feel worthy.
Yeah.
That's what it was. I didn't feel worthy. And it was constantly having to do that over and over again. It actually got to the point where I burnt myself out from wanting that. And that's crap.
It's so sad, isn't it, to look back?
It's sad. But it's also the lessons. It's learning that, when you understand and you can be guided through that you can move out of any pain. And sometimes we don't even know that it's pain, do we?
No. We don't even know where, as I just said a minute ago, like I was positive on the outside and I thought that I had a positive outlook to life. but I didn't realize what was happening was actually internal to me. I was always
Yeah.
looking for that outside answer, but it was actually the
Yeah.
internal thermostat, like
Mm.
Danny's spoken about for the last 4 days,
Yeah.
that was keeping me at that lower frequency.
Yeah. So Kate says, I feel I had to prove to myself, to me, not to others. That's what I used to say to myself, that it was for myself, that I had to prove to me. But when I actually went deeper, I realized it wasn't even for myself. It was me truly proving to others. And I wouldn't even come out of my mouth because it's not something that I would say. I can absolutely say it now because I can be vulnerable and say that. And yeah, so for me, it was that in the beginning. I thought it was, I've got to prove to myself that I can do it, that I can do it. I need the accolades. I need the badge. I need the, I need the trophy. I need the recognition. I need to be recognized for who I am and what I do. And it was like just a constant battle. You know what I mean? I was battling to be recognized. So
was I.
yeah,
Definitely. Yeah.
battling. So lo and behold, what happened with me, and Ali will share, we'll flow into this story because we really want to get you to the place where you can understand and feel and see exactly how this process took place. So as I mentioned earlier, I was someone who was always seeking, the validation, one for myself and validation and recognition, right? It was a big thing for me. I didn't realize it was even a thing. I was very competitive. Anyone being competitive in school, like I had to be first, I had to win the race. And if I came second, it was like, oh my God, how can you be second? I had to win everything. And so my whole life was about chasing that. So, I had lots of businesses and I wanted to be successful in these businesses. And I really tried hard, but I was in my masculine, just working like an absolute maniac to the point where one day I had a clothing business at that point. I've had many. If I listed them all, you'd think, what the hell's this woman? She's nuts, right? I had my clothing business, a clothing fashion line, a children's fashion line that I owned, and we had a whole shipment coming from China. So, and that came to my house, right? So this shipment came to my house, and we had like hundreds and hundreds of boxes. My whole house was full of these boxes. And it was like, oh my God, we were so stressed out to get, so this is me, obviously wanting to get it out, get all the deliveries out before Christmas and all of that sort of stuff into the stores before Christmas, not Christmas, before the winter, summer season started. And I remember my daughter at that point, she was like 4, and I had to take her to kinder. So I drove her to kinder and I drove back. And my subconscious was running on, like my mind was running on empty, like literally completely just drained. And I didn't even know I didn't know what to do. I came back and I've walked into the house. And as I walked into the house, I walked into the kitchen and I had like a whole heap of people there helping, take these orders, like do these orders and get them out. And I turned around and I said, where's my daughter? Like I literally dropped her off. My mind went completely blank. I've forgotten whether I dropped her off, whether I'd taken her to kinder. I had the biggest breakdown in that moment. And I just said to and then I drove back to the kinder because I didn't know that I dropped her off. Like this is, has anyone ever been that scrambled?
Absolutely.
That like you just don't know where you are. I didn't know where I was, what I was doing. I was so stressed out. And I remember, obviously I went back to kinder, she was there. And I just remember breaking down and just thinking to myself, what am I doing? Like this is not worth it. I don't want to feel like this. I don't want to be, I don't want to be successful like this. Fuck that. It's not what I want. And then I looked for other ways, and obviously that business sort of didn't last that long, and I'm not going to get into that either. But, it was just something that blew my mind. And I'm like, this is the energy, the frequency we were in. Nothing was going to be successful if you're in that frequency, right? I could have tried all I liked, all I wanted. That business was never going to be successful because of my energy, my vibrational frequency. It was matching. It was in like fear, complete fear that things were going to get done, things were going to get. I'm not just saying that business doesn't come with pressure. It can, But no one has to live like that or be like that. No one. Not when you're having a nervous breakdown because you don't know what you've done with your child. Like,
Exactly. Wow.
That's just crazy shit, right? So fast forward, and I'm gonna fast forward everything because I really want you to see this, right? I was in business. I found network marketing, and in network marketing, everything changed for me, right? As much as, you know, network marketing has, you know, a stigma around it or whatever, for me it was the greatest thing I ever did, because it allowed me to really pursue personal development. It allowed me to really move into understanding and working on myself every single day, because that was part of what you do, right? It was reading books. I started to read books for the first time in how many years? I started with audios, and then, you know, I started to just do things, and I could feel my energy, my frequency changing and shifting just from the network marketing. And then I became completely freaking addicted to it, to the point where I just couldn't get enough of it. You know what I mean? And that was a bit of an obsession too. But fast forward, what had happened, I started to change my way of being. I started to, you know, move into ease and flow. But then I went back into complete masculine again, because then I was, you know, aiming to get into the higher ranks, and it just became very, very what's the word, Ali? It was just like working like an absolute maniac.
Yeah, maniac.
Yeah.
And it's just you're addicted to the chase of creating more. It was just not a healthy way of being, unfortunately.
Yeah. So what I then realized is, through that success, I had many people coming to me and saying, Danny, can you help? Can you coach me? Can you show me what you're doing? And I'm like, oh, if only they knew what I was actually doing. I was working like a maniac. But then what I did, I found at that point, I started to work as a student in Thinking into Results, which was the Bob Proctor program, which is the program Ali and I now facilitate. I started working in there as a student. And everything that I'd done before that, all the personal development, everything, there was a shift and a change within me, because I started to embody. I started to really look at myself from a different perspective. It was really interesting. And I got really, really good at it. And I got really, really good at helping people. And I mean, I knew that I was good at that, but it just elevated. It continued to elevate. And then I was sort of, you know, asked to jump in as a consultant to teach, to you know, deliver this material and help others around the globe doing this work. And at that point, I thought, oh my God, that would be amazing. But at that point also, I had my barbecue mafia husband, who, honestly, God love him, he's in the other room on the balcony at the Hilton here, having his cigarette and his beer at 8 o'clock. No beer yet. Definitely a cigarette and his coffee. Anyway, and you'll meet him if you're coming to the retreat. I do hang a lot of shit on him, but you know what? It is because it's funny and it's awesome, right? But he was like, I knew that I could not ask him for the money that I needed to become a consultant, which was nearly 50,000 Australian dollars, right? That was just not a thing for him. I invested in myself secretly before, which was a couple of thousand here and a few thousand here and blah, blah, blah. But to actually drop $50,000 and, you know, start to really work on myself, that was just it was just non-negotiable. It just I wasn't even going to ask him. So Bob just talked about decision. And what I did in that moment scared the absolute living daylights out of me. Like, I knew that if I didn't do that, because you know when you're being pulled to something, no, you're not pushed. I was being pulled. Like, I could feel the energy. Yeah, Elle, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, you knew that's where you were meant to be.
I knew that's where I was meant to be. It was like a calling. It was a calling. And I just said, I know that there's no way he's going to give me that money, but I've got to find a way. I made a decision. I drew that line in that sand at that moment. And I said, I will do it no matter what. Because this is not even for me now. I'd flipped into, I know how many people I can serve, because I was already serving so many people. And I knew that this was going to take that to another level. And we're going to work on purpose as well over the weekend. And the purpose was to help people shine. So this was stronger than my fear of divorce at that point, because that's probably what it would have ended up in.
Mm.
I said yes. I put down a deposit. And I remember feeling, we talked about terror barrier on day, whatever day that was, yesterday.
3.
Day 3, we talked about terror barrier. The fear that was coursing through my veins, the fear that I held, the physical, the vomiting, the panic, my body actually, it almost felt like it shut down, because now I said yes, there was no turning back. I had to pay the entire amount, and I had to work out a way. That was probably the scariest point in my life, because I knew that I had to do that. I was being pulled, but I didn't know how. And I wanted to, when I laid down that deposit, I wanted to pull out immediately, because my paradigm went back into, you're fine where you are, don't worry about it, you'll be okay, you're safe, we want you to stay safe. This is my paradigm speaking to me, right? It didn't want me to create success. It didn't want me to be better. It wanted me to just stay. And I was okay. I was getting by, but getting by is not what my soul wanted. There was something much deeper here, much bigger. And tell me if you feel that. Tell me if you feel this. Tell me if you felt that.
Very moving.
Yeah.
I've heard that so many times, but it's such a moving story, Dan, because
I usually cry every time I share it, because it's so freaking, it just, it was a massive decision. It was the greatest decision of my life. And that's why I'm here right now, and why I'm here with you, and why we're here serving, and why we're here making impact day after day after day after day. That's the calling. That is the calling.
Mm.
I want you to feel that and experience that, because we all have that calling. But sometimes we just get so stuck, and we just don't know how to make that decision without the consequences of what happens if we do. But if it's strong enough, just know you've got to go. You've got to, and this is the thing, we shared that the other day. You've got to believe it first. You've got to believe it before you see it. I believed it, but I still doubted it. But I knew the belief was strong enough. And that's why I just said, I have no fucking idea how this is going to work, but I'm doing it. And I could have lost everything at that point. Just so you know what it takes sometimes. What are you prepared to sacrifice for your purpose, for you, for the highest version of you, to stand into that version of you? And that's why when someone comes to us and says, oh my God, I can't, drop whatever it is for the investment, I just look at them and say, what do you really, really want? You're here for a reason. I've done this over, and it's not the first time, over, and since then we've spent hundreds of thousands, right? Over and over and over again, knowing, right, that we want more, because we're made for more. That's what it is. Be true to yourself, not others, because it doesn't matter. They'll fall into line, they'll fall into place. But that's the thing, we're not true to ourselves because of the worry. We're born on our own, we die on our own. That journey is a journey that we get to choose people and take people on that journey with us. I'm taking way too much time, Ali. I just
it's amazing. I can just,
because it is so important that in your life you choose you. Choose you. So important to choose you.
So huge. It's huge. Because if you didn't choose you, I wouldn't be here either.
Yeah.
It's so interesting, isn't it? Things just happen. So, like Danny has just shared with her story, like mine, similar but different. And I got to sort of 39 years old and just looked at my life and you know, sat there thinking there was no friggin' way I was going to enter that next decade feeling like we had no money, like this was the budget, like we're basically being propped up by Centrelink. I was always like the main income earner, always successful in my corporate career because that's where I got placed. So I was a high school dropout because I just didn't want to be at school. I got placed into corporate because I had to get a job, but I was always entrepreneurial. I knew that there was something deep inside of me. So I was always doing things on the side, but I was working in corporate because we needed that money to support the family because I was the main breadwinner. I could earn money quite easily. And I felt like I just had to maintain that just to, you know, keep us afloat. And I remember being in corporate and I absolutely loved it. Like I did love it. I had a fantastic job. And for someone who was a high school dropout, like I didn't have any formal qualifications, but I was able to, you know, go up that corporate ladder very, very quickly. So by the time I was 21, I had this incredible job, what looked like on paper. And then we got married and started having babies and all those things. And I remember thinking to myself, like, I can't sustain this type of position having all these children. Like I've wanted to become a mum for so long and it's taken a lot of you know, nature wasn't, you know, that kind to us at the time. It took a lot of intervention to have children. Why am I doing this to myself? And I thought that was the only way that I could earn money because when I was, you know, brought up, European family, my parents instilled in me that work ethic. Like I was the busiest person on the planet with the best work ethic you've ever seen. And I was working 2 jobs by the time I was 15 and, you know, I was always working super hard. So that was the only thing that I knew how to do is work. And I really just kept working and working and working to the bone, basically. And when I started having the babies, I was looking for something else because I knew that the corporate lifestyle wasn't going to, you know, be able to facilitate that. So I put the call out to the universe and as it happened, you know, I thought network marketing was like a bit of a cult and I didn't ever want to join network marketing, but I did. And I too had some amazing success, but was always chasing that recognition and that next dollar and just wanted, you know, I wanted to feel successful so others could see me in a light of something different. And I was then continuing that same pattern. I was working like a maniac, constantly missing out on things. And I thought building a business, that's what you had to do. You had to sacrifice. And that's actually not what's required, but I thought that's what was required. So I kept working and we still had no money. Like we had no money to show for, you know, how we're working. My husband was working, the kids were now in daycare. And it was just a shit show, if I'm honest. Like it was just a grind, a constant grind. And I thought to myself when I was 39 and I thought I'm not going into this next decade doing the same thing. We were just living week to week, had absolutely no money, credit cards all maxed out. And the pivotal point for me was our bank account was compromised. And I remember ringing the bank and it put us into a negative. And I remember ringing the bank saying, like, you know, we need the money back ASAP because we can't even put petrol in our car. Like this is how bad it was, guys. I used to go to the supermarket and be calculating how much the groceries were going to cost. And we just didn't have any wriggle room for anything. And I had all these people telling me like, oh, you're a great communicator, you're great at connecting people. And I started running networking events like alongside my network marketing business. And that just came very naturally to me. When I put that decision out into the ether, I didn't know how it was going to happen, but put it out into the ether in the January of 2022. And by the May 2022, this incredible woman that you can see next to me in the feed here, she she popped up into my feed. And we were actually in the same network marketing company at the time. I sort of knew of Danny because she'd achieved some incredible things, but we didn't actually really know each other at all. And the post that someone shared, a mutual friend shared it to say that she was doing like these massive months, like $80,000 months. And I just remember looking at that thinking, what is going on? Like, we weren't even making $80,000 a year combined with my husband, myself, and Centrelink. I'm thinking to myself, how could someone be making $80,000 a month? To me, that was like absurd. So curiosity killed the cat, didn't it? So within minutes, I was inboxing her thinking, what is this woman doing? I need to have a piece of that chocolate cake, and I want to know exactly what's happening. And I jumped onto a call with her and explained to her, you know, where I was at, that I was creating success, but I just constantly kept hitting my head against that brick wall and couldn't actually break through the income level. So it wasn't lack of effort. It wasn't lack of decision. It wasn't lack of trying. It wasn't lack of, I knew what I wanted. I thought I did at the time, but it was lack of frequency. It was lack of self-image. It was lack of so many things. And Danny was able to pick that to pieces within 30 seconds flat. She knew exactly what was holding me back. And in that exact moment, I said to her, I'm going to check with my husband. And she told me what I needed to do to invest in the deposit. We didn't have the deposit, but that very same day, my commission dropped in from my network marketing company. And that commission was already allocated, as you can see here in the color coding, to the absolute T. Color coding, it was all color coded, to the absolute T as to where that money was going. And I got off the thing to Danny and I said to my husband, you know, I've met this woman. You know, what she's sharing with me is gonna change our lives. And he's like, just do it. So if he didn't breathe that belief into me, I knew I had the capabilities. He knew that I had the capabilities as well, because that's just what I do. Normally when I touch something, it does turn to gold, because I have that belief and that ability to do that. But I didn't have the ability to spend that much money and invest in myself, because I wasn't sure that was the answer, but it actually was the answer. So I joined Danny as a student to this incredible work in May 2022, 7th of May. And by the end of June, so my budget of $4,533.94 was income up until May 2022. And by the end of June 2022, so 3.5 weeks later, it was $27,500. How does that happen? Just think about that. How does that happen? So there was a series of things that Danny and I, you know, did, and she told me to do. And the thing that I was here, I was a very good student. I was a very, very good follower. I knew I was also a great leader, but I had to become an even better follower. I had to do exactly what Danny was telling me. And if she told me to do something, like write out my goal 100 times a day, I was doing it, because I could see this incredible woman standing before me who had created exactly what I wanted to create. And if she was telling me to do something, I would do it. So that pattern continued for the next 3 months. So it was June, July, and August. And I remember getting a call from Danny and her asking me to meet her on the Gold Coast. It was actually the 18th of February, 2022. And this was her 30th wedding anniversary. And I'm like, why are you meeting me? Like, aren't you meant to see this husband of yours that you keep telling me about? It was just so fascinating. And we already had sort of mutual clients that were sort of crossing over, and mine were getting to a certain level doing what I was doing. So I was teaching them how to, you know, stand into their social media and branding and do all those things. And Danny's clients were doing this work, but they wanted to learn how to be present on social media. So there was already a bit of a collaboration happening. And this woman, like, I couldn't get enough of her. Like, it was just like, you know, when you meet someone and you're just like, this is the person. She got exactly how I felt, what I thought, and we just had this connection. Like, we both have husbands and families. Danny's got 5 kids and 2 grandkids. I've got 3 kids and a husband and 2 dogs. But we just had this, there was just, I can't actually explain it. It was like, my husband calls it kindred spirits. It's just this connection with someone that it was like we've separated literally birth, 10 years difference. And it was just like, how does this shit happen? So I had no idea what she was inviting me to come and talk to her about. I'm not sure she quite knew exactly what that looked like either. But I remember just being, you know, completely honored to meet her and think, oh my goodness, like, I was still in that feeling of in awe of her, and, you know, how and what she's going to create. Why would she want to be talking to me? So my self-image had elevated, but it still wasn't quite where it needed to be at that point. And Danny, you can continue, because I get quite emotional about this story because it's absolutely mind-blowing.
Just hearing that, like, honestly, going from 4,000 to 27,500, and that was a 3-week challenge that I gave Ali. Like, this is what you can do within 3 weeks. She's like, looked at me, I said, just go and do it. And she just went and did it like that day. She didn't wait till the day after. She didn't wait a week from that time. She literally left to where we were, which was at the Cali in James Street in Brisbane. Left that place in her. She forgot to, no, not forgot, but she was in her grandma. Was it your mum's? In your mum's?
I was in my mum's. So Danny and I met in the May, like just before.
Before that,
I started creating this success. Yeah. She was up here with her daughter, and you know, I didn't have my own car at that point. We'd had to sell it, so I borrowed. My husband, we had a car together, but I needed a second car, so I borrowed my mum's car. I had my stepdad's disabled sticker in the window, and I parked in a disabled spot. And I remember thinking, what is this? This cannot be. And I walk up to Danny, and she just looked amazing. And I just felt so welcomed by her, but I felt so out of place with where we actually were. And we'll share with you, like, we've now hosted events at this venue.
Identity jump.
Yeah, it's just incredible. Yeah. So from that meeting, like, Danny believed in me more. I knew I had something inside. I just wasn't sure how to activate it, but she breathed that belief into me. And showed me these steps that we're showing you, like this proven method as to it's a proven system that we've been able to use for ourselves and so many people. And that was the catalyst of our meeting in September, and Danny will share that with you now.
Yeah. So we come together, and I just knew the energy and so Ali was, you know, the student, like everything that I had learned through, you know, working at Procter Gallagher, working with, you know, having calls with the incredible and Bob and everybody else. It was like I took everything literally and did it. So what I did with Ali, I just said, well, what we do with everybody is do exactly this. The thing is, not everyone will do exactly what they're asked to do. And that's always not a problem, but this is because of people's belief. Because the belief will not allow, it will cause the blockage. Does that make sense? Like, you might have a formula right in front of you how to make a cake, but you might leave out just a little bit of flour and then it doesn't work. Or you might leave out one ingredient because you don't have it in the cupboard and you can't be Jack going to Woolworths to go get it, right? So then the cake's sort of okay, but it's not exactly how it was. So this was the thing. We had to create the perfect ingredient, and that's what it is. Like, when I say perfect, just do exactly as I just did, exactly as I was instructed to do to create that success. And of course, there's belief in that. There's action in that. It's not just action, a strategy. That's the thing. People think it's just like do this, and do this. It's not that. It's minds. It's the way the mind works. That's one of the most important parts of it. Then you apply the strategy to it to create the perfect cake. So anyway, I just knew that this was it. Ali was like doing the branding, the social media, and I knew in business that this is something that everybody needed, right? Was a bit of that too. And, it wasn't just that. I just knew I had this vision that every time I looked at Ali, I had this vision of seeing like millions of women. Like it was just this vision. Every time I looked at her, it was like, why am I seeing like people everywhere? It was, I don't know, it was just the weirdest vision that I had. And when it's not weird, it was because that's exactly what it was. And there was something, again, it was pulling. I wasn't being pushed, I was pulled. And I remember my husband saying, he goes, do you really want to go into partnership with someone? Like, we just swore that we'd never be in partnership with anyone else ever again, because partnership never works out, blah, 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 you know, the whole whatever. And I'm like, no, this is different. And I did run it by him at that point. And he, but you're doing really well on your own. Like, why would you want to bring someone else in? I said, I don't know what it is. There's something there that is, we've cut out. There's something there that needs to be explored. So we did it. I asked her. She said yes, not knowing what she was doing, just fully trusting in me. I think at that point you were just fully trusting.
Absolutely.
And we had.
I didn't care what it was.
We had our first event. Yeah, she just knew.
I just knew that,
right?
It was.
Who's had that?
Yeah.
You just knew, and I knew. You know, we're doing a lot of love on each other here, but it's what it was. Like, I'm being honest, it's what it was. Fast forward 2 years or a year and a half in. A year and a half,
18 months it was.
18 months, we hit the $2 million mark in our business. 18 months in. Just want you to marinate in that for a minute. It was like, not bad. This was not forced. It was not in pain, worry. The frequency was such an elevated frequency. It was just an incredible way of creating. No stress, no panic, just knowing. Just knowing. And we're going to talk to you like this is, we work on the knowing. People want, they know, and sometimes they need. I need this. Did you see the chart? That need frequency will never serve you. We are looking for the knowing frequency, and that's exactly what we both had. We just knew coming together that this is what we would create. And now we've gone on to create much more. We're 2.5 years in, and it's just going nuts. So, and this is the thing, because we are helping and serving women over, and men, mainly women, over and over again, and helping them create the same result. And what we want to do, we want to bring on just so that you guys can see, and this is not because we need validation. We don't need to validate anything. Like I promise you, we don't even need a testimonial, because you will feel whether this is for you or not. You will know in this instant. You will know whether you have the money, whether you don't, whether you want to lock arms with us and work with us. You will know the feeling that you get, because I had that feeling with Ali. Ali had that feeling with me. Everybody that works with us has that feeling. They want to be around us. They want to be in our space, because they know we are creators and we help others create. And that is the magic that we bring, right? It's trust. It's trusting yourself, trusting the energy. We can talk smack. I could talk whatever you wanted to. We could tell you that, oh no, we could tell you whatever. You'd feel the energy. You'd know it. You'd know the energy. And that's what it's all about. When you understand to tap into this energy, you're able to be the creator of anything that you want in your life, whether it's, you know, $80,000 months, whether it's $10,000 months. We will show you how to do this. You just have to tap into the feeling. So we want to bring on Felicity. Are you there, Felicity? I'm so sorry, we've held you back.
Here she is.
I can't stop.
Felicity.
This is Felicity.
Hey,
oh my God. Sorry, you've been sitting in there for like. Thank you so much. We thought we'd bring you on earlier, but we got carried away with these stories. Like, oh, we just.
I would have been here listening either way, so it made no difference if I'm in a waiting room or listening on YouTube. So it's all
good. Look gorgeous, gorgeous. Thank you for being here. Ali, do you want to let's introduce Felicity? Ali, you can introduce.
Yeah, this incredible powerhouse. So Felicity has been in our space for, I think it's been since maybe March or April last year.
Yeah, April, yeah.
Oh, May. Oh my goodness, feels like it's been forever. And this incredible woman, she's going to share with you, but you know, we met her, and literally within an instant, she was in our world and has now created some magical results. Her business is Tax Espresso, and Flick, we're going to just let you to share, what has happened since you have started with us. You're in corporate and now you're in your business, and it's just been phenomenal to see you. Danny and I knew the feeling was there from the minute that we saw you. Nuts. We knew the minute we saw you that
absolutely
it was just your energy and what you bring was going to be the perfect formula to create an amazing business, and that's exactly what has happened. So take it away, girl.
Thank you, Danny and Ali. So as you mentioned, I met the girls back in April. I had been exactly what Danny had said, like if you're drawn to something and you have to do something. So this happened to me back in like
bring the
January.
dog in so the dog can talk.
Where's the dog?
I know, sorry, I was hoping you wouldn't be able to hear that because a delivery has to happen right now. If I'd bring it right next to me. Oh,
he's good now. He's good now. Now that we got it out in the open, it's good. Oh, I love it. I love
sorry
it.
about that.
No, don't be sorry. We love it.
I mean, if it's not the dog, it'll be a child walking in. Don't worry. It's the joys of running your own business at home. Like, you do that. So I was drawn to a program. I was drawn to doing an event back in January. I did that in March. That led me to meeting Danny and Ali in April, which honestly, it's changed my life since. What Danny said, when you're drawn to doing something, go with your gut and just go all in, because the things that can happen can really change your entire life. And it will open your eyes up to so many more things. So I met Danny and Ali in, I think it was April activation, right? I think we were doing an April activation.
Yeah.
And the shift of energy, and I don't know what was going on that month, because suddenly things were happening that I was just blown away, putting it out into the universe, going, I just need this kind of job to come in. Literally a couple of days later, I got a phone call from an old colleague with that exact same job. And I was like, I don't know what's going on here. Met with Danny and Ali personally at the end of April, and I went all in and joined with She Evolve Collective. I reckon that was on the Thursday or Friday, and on the Monday I walked into my boss's office and resigned. So I knew that what I wanted to do was launch Tax Espresso and the purpose behind what we do. Fast forward 6 months later, it's a 6-figure business. I'm helping clients and really giving the purpose behind what we're doing. I jump into the calls with the She Evolve Collective. We have the community behind us, and just being part of that frequency and energy has really helped me thrive in my business as well as personally, in wealth, in personal. The things that have happened in the personal life with my wealth as well is very, I don't know, whatever happens on those wealth wave calls, because I tell you, they'll join you with another frequency and things happen that week. But setting those intentions, and just, I never used to be one that even knew anything about it. If this is coming from someone who's never believed, or not so much not believed, but never understood frequency, never understood energy, and I can tell you everything has changed in the last 8 months, and going all in on just not so much being the workhorse person, not being the corporate where you're working constant hours, but now I get to spend time with my family, get to spend time with the kids picking up in school and my husband, and I'm still got a 6-figure business behind me. I'm not working as hard. I actually might be working more hours, but I enjoy it. I love working with my clients. I love working with everyone around. So,
and you've got team members.
So, Felicity, you went from 0 to 6 figures in literally 6 months.
Yeah. So when it comes to I left corporate as a tax specialist, I didn't take clients with me. None of those clients were with me. These are all brand new clients that have come on board, that have come and essentially sort out from the energy that we're putting out there. These are all new clients. It's just turned into a 6-figure business. I've got employees. I have people working for me. It's been an amazing ride.
Amazing.
You've been on stages.
Yes, I've been on stages in Australia and overseas, talking in front of very large audiences. The confidence that I have in myself now, and it just flows out of me. The weirdest of ones, I was on the phone to a client last week, and it was a new client coming on board, and she goes, "Oh, because you're such an extrovert, you obviously get around." Like, secretly, I am an introvert. I am very much an introvert, but when I talk about what I love and the passion and where I'm in the energy, it very much portrays that I must be an extrovert.
Absolutely. I can relate to that too.
Yeah.
And,
Love it.
you know,
Love it.
we're so grateful to have you, Felicity, now as a one-on-one client and work with you so closely. And your contribution to the community on the flip side for us has just been phenomenal.
Unreal.
Everyone loves you. You give so much to everyone. Your knowledge, your expertise, you're always serving, always there to help. And yeah, we're just so grateful for everything that you do. And we just know, I can't believe that it's only been how many months. It just blows my mind.
7 months.
It's amazing what can change in such a short period of time.
Yeah, that's a quantum leap, and this is what we talk. When we talk about a quantum leap, this is it: 0 to 6 figures in just over 6 months. It's most people don't even comprehend. I mean, most people say, "Oh, when you have a business, you just happy to break even in the first year." I mean, that's the mentality. That's the belief that we have. Well, not we, but that's the belief majority of people have. Like, just be happy to break even. Man, we don't break even. We break records, right? This is what we do, and that's why it's so freaking incredible. Felicity, before you leave, thank you so much for being on. I know Felicity's going to be at the retreat, so if you're at the retreat, you get to hear Felicity speak at the retreat as well and share more of what she does. Just give your Tax Espresso a plug and let everybody know what you do, and if they want some tax done, that you're their girl, right?
Oh, look, I'll happily plug it, but we don't necessarily want to see clients that just want to do a once-off, once-a-year tax compliance. We're not that kind of business. We actually want to work with you as your business is growing. We are there to support you through bookkeeping, compliance, mentoring, and just business growth. So we literally are there every step of the way and there to guide you before you make decisions with your business, and you have a sounding board. So we want to partner with you as a business. And that's how we operate. So we're not the typical accountants. We're not the typical people that just sort of go, hey, here's my shoebox and here's my tax stuff and I haven't looked at my numbers. We will work with you to grow your business. So that's how we bring passion into it.
Incredible.
You bring the passion. And if you're not attending the retreat and you're wanting to be on live, you'll still be able to hear Felicity.
Yeah, speak, absolutely.
Loud and clear on live. Yeah.
Love it. So as we draw to an end, it's been an hour.
Thanks, beautiful.
That was quick. Yes, thank you so much for being on, Felicity. We just want to also invite you in to have a conversation with Ali and I. Like, we invited you in, I think, yesterday was it yesterday, or we had the event on Tuesday night, did the paradigms. And, we've spoken to so many people already. And if you have not booked in a call with our team or Ali and I, honestly, we invite you to jump in, and what we're going to do is we're going to give you a transformational call. So this call is about seeing where you are at right now, just like I did for Ali. We sat down and we had a conversation, and what we do for everybody, we sat down, we had a conversation. I looked at where she was, and that's what we both do now. We look at where you are currently. So what's your position? Like, what do you want? Like, where are you now? Where do you want to go? And what is the gap? Like, what's holding you back from creating that? So just so that we really spend time with anybody that really wants to discover that for themselves. And Ali and I, we only work with people really one-on-one and have these one-on-one calls. So we are offering this because we want to offer it.
Absolutely. So you'll make a booking through the booking link, and it may be with us or it could be with our team. We don't have many spots left, guys. Just depends who's available. We'll be doing calls today and for a small time tomorrow, and that's it. Then our call availability is closed. So we would love to invite you in. We're going to the retreat. That's right.
So we've literally got some spots open today and some spots open on Friday tomorrow. So if you haven't booked in, please book in. And the first few calls will obviously be with Ali and I, and just depending on our availability as well. We've got our incredible team too. They're incredible and they're trained and they know exactly. We give you the strategy. So we give you the strategy either way. But we'd love to have these conversations. And if you feel pulled, not pushed, we don't want to push anybody, because we don't want to work with someone that's being pushed. If you feel pulled to discover more, jump on, book that call in. There's a link in the chat.
Yeah, Mel will pop the link. Absolutely.
Mel will pop the link in the chat. We'll pop it into the Telegram chat as well. And we're going to leave that Telegram chat open up until next week. I think we'll leave it Monday or Tuesday over the weekend. Obviously, we've got the retreat on the weekend, and we'll leave that open so you can watch the replays. I think and if you have anybody else too that you feel would love to you think could learn from this, even if they haven't registered as of yet for this event, the Made for More event, and you feel that they would love to watch these replays, let our team know, and we can absolutely invite them in, and they can still watch the replays for the next couple of days as well. And after that, all the sessions will be taken off, and we'll have to wait for the next one, which is exciting.
That's right.
Yeah, we really want to, we've honestly set aside this time, the next 2 days, to serve you. And that was our intention, to serve you to the fullest possible. I'm not making sense now.
Yeah, the highest level.
To the highest level, to serve you with calls, with this work, and to show you. So if you want to leverage off this, please leverage off it, because we're here for that. And you can ask anything. We're open to absolutely anything. So we want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We are so excited for this weekend, and we're so excited to see you in our space and in our world. And thank you guys. See you soon.
We've loved it. Thanks everyone for your time and for being open to receive as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're stoked. Thanks everyone.
Yay!
We'll see you on a call soon. Don't forget to book that today. There'll be limited spaces today and tomorrow, and then that's it.
I think there's about three left today. Is that right? There's three spots maybe.
Yeah, there wasn't many.
Yeah, there's not many. All righty. Thank you guys. Bye.
Thanks everyone. Bye.